Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC, everybody. I'm Ken, and today we are looking at a new Redcat Mini. A new one of these guys, kind of. Boom! Look at this. It is the MT-18. Monster Truck 18. This specifically is the Edelbrock edition. How freaking cool is that? Look at this. Straight axles. They're running straight axles, and this specifically is a rear steering capable straight axle. So it doesn't come with the servo, but it comes with the axle. So all you gotta do is get a servo on there and you're good to go. Here's some metal drive shafts for this guy. What else we got? The Metal Gear Hexfly servo, charger, battery, monster truck. They come in blue and then this red Edelbrock edition. Obviously, we have to get the red Edelbrock. Come on now. Let's dive into this guy. Redcat's been knocking it out of the park lately. Let's dive into this guy. Oh man, look at that little thing. How freaking cool is that? All right, let's see what we got here. Snip our zip tie. Two zip ties? One zip tie. Oh, buddy. Got a transmitter and a battery charger. What else is in here? Is that it? Just a battery charger? Some extra parts. Looks like we got some links, body mounts. It's got a quick release, just like the original Ascent 18s. Bam, and it pops right off. Oh, I dig that. They changed up the way the front works. Looks like a little bit more captured, so that's cool. Like drops in and then captures down on it, so it's nice and snug. That thing's not coming off. Nope. Now this body is, well, it's similar. It is not the same. It's a little bit smaller, actually. Just from a scale standpoint, like barely smaller. It's almost 24 scale, almost. We'll compare this guy to some of the other trucks that we have, the other monster trucks, and that way you can get a good idea of the actual scale of it. I love this chassis. Even got some exhaust headers coming out. The sponsor stickers, that's freaking cool. Got some RCT tires. These are like the wedge style tires here. Very cool. They're very square, very square. But, you know, some monster truck tires are very square, so that's cool. Much thicker steering link than the Ascent 18. But it looks like it's using basically cross-compatible, Ascent 18 parts. So that is freaking sweet. So that means now we've got some Ascent 18 straight axles. If we want some straight axles, we can do straight axles. So that is super awesome. I'm sure you're going to be able to buy these axles aftermarket, replacement parts. They're also open diff. It's not a lock diff. It's an open diff. So that's pretty cool, which means you're not going to be crawling with this guy, right? It's a monster truck, but it's going to handle the turns gorgeously. Absolutely gorgeously. Here's that rear axle that is rear steer ready. So that's cool. I'm kind of curious how the electronics are going to handle that. Like, are we going to be able to rear steer mixing on these electronics? I'm not sure. We'll have to dive into that. Oh, I'm excited. This chassis is aluminum, and it's the entire chassis. It's not like it's just added on to the Ascent chassis. It's a complete monster truck chassis, and it's 2 millimeters here. There's a 2 millimeter aluminum, which is going to make this thing super, super sturdy. We've got our oil-filled shocks here with aluminum caps. They're still plastic housing, but they're aluminum caps. These are the same as what comes on the Ascent 18. At least it looks like it. There are 3 little O-ring like bump stops in there so that you're not totally bottoming out and shocking your suspension. Got a little bit of squish in there, so that's cool. It is going to limit how much compression you have, but that's okay. If you want, you can always take them out. So that's cool. Any aftermarket upgrade shocks, like maybe the Next Racing True Reservoir oil-filled shocks, they can go on this guy as well. So that's freaking awesome. We've got the RTR 2-in-1 combo ESC receiver with the Redcat motor in there, same as what's in the Ascent. This receiver ESC combo is actually super good for an RTR 2-in-1 combo. As far as the performance, the slow crawl, the high speed, all of it, very good. So this guy's going to probably rip around pretty dang good with this ESC receiver because, like I said, it's got a good range in there. Now they are just slightly different though. This is the R3C MT, whereas this is the R3C ER. Got a gray antenna versus white. That probably means nothing, but I figured I would point it out. We do still have a channel 3 on here. This channel 3 we're going to use for rear steer. And my guess is this guy has forward brake reverse, whereas this just has forward reverse for crawling, because you want forward brake reverse in a monster truck, typically. We've got our 750 Hexfly 2S battery, so that's cool. We're on a red JST plug, same as what comes in these guys. So I'm loving that we just have more options to build trucks now, right? We have not only an open diff that we can throw in these guys to make, trail rigs or Ultra 4 style rigs. We've got straight axles now. So I'm sure we're gonna be able to put these diffs in these portals, which will be super awesome. We've got some from the factory metal drive shafts. Look at these slotted drive shafts now. That's pretty cool. So that's gonna be a cool upgrade. Almost looks like our transmission mount is gonna be the same here. Super cool as well. We're gonna be able to use, I'm hoping the servo mount's the same, so we can use the new servos that have just recently come out from Torque. You have the Torque servo in there. See that? It's basically a mountless, earless servo. Here, let's open this up. I'll show you real quick. So it's a rear exit wire mountless servo. See that? There's no mounts on the sides. It mounts straight to the axle, and the wire comes out the rear, so you're not rubbing on your chassis. You've got a little bit more clearance. So these servos should also fit directly into this monster truck, which is going to be freaking awesome. So much cool stuff coming out, guys. It's a good time to be a fan of the small scale RCs, whether they're crawlers, monster trucks, race cars, whatever. We have so many awesome options, and this just adds another one to the stable, which is just freaking cool. Again, this servo is the Hexfly servo. There you go. It's the M4K coreless servo, and it's all metal gears, so super durable. These Redcats have come with some of the best RTR micro servos that I've seen, so pretty awesome. And it's going to need a good servo because look at these tires, man. They're just massive, massive tires. Got CVAs, is what they're not CVDs. They're calling them CVA. Constant velocity axle in there, and that turn radius looks bonkers. What? Hold on. That's pretty wild. Is that as good as these guys? Almost looks better. It almost looks like we have more steering angle, not turn radius, but steering angle. No, they're about the same. Still, that's bonkers. Yeah, maybe a little more. That's bonkers, guys. Look at that steering angle. And it's still smooth. You can, oh man, it is like, look at that. At max turn. Like, there's no resistance in the CVA. That's all resistance inside the diff. So they would just keep spinning if we didn't have a diff in there. Oh, freaking sweet. We're going to open up the diffs, show you what those look like, make sure they're nice and greased up. We even have this. Boom, an extra servo for the rear. So we're going to put the 4-wheel steer in this guy. That's going to be awesome. And yeah, we're definitely going to have fun. So we got our 4 AA's here in our transmitter. Go ahead and turn this guy on, and then we'll power on our truck. Did you see that? Hold on. Hold on, was that a slow start for the servo? That's freaking awesome. So the ESC is slow starting that servo so that if you're turned or something like that, and maybe you've got a tool in there or you've got your finger in there or whatever, it starts off nice and slow to center. And then you have your full speed. That's freaking sweet. So usually only whoa. Watch your trigger finger, sir. Usually only high-end servos have something as awesome as that. So that's freaking sweet. This servo's pretty responsive as well. So, oh man. Oh. So this ESC is set up definitely different than the Ascent 18 because we have forward brake reverse versus forward reverse. So there's no crawl mode set up in there right now. I'm not sure if you can change that or not, but it's a monster truck. You don't want forward reverse. That's how you brake stuff. You want forward brake reverse. That's how monster trucks go. Come on now, guys. Come on. Freaking sweet, though. I love that. Can't wait to try the rear steer. My guess is on the rear steer, we're going to have to use this channel 3 on this transmitter. I was hoping maybe we could use this guy because this guy, the V5, I've got a whole video on it for the FCX 18s, has a rear steer mixing. So, but it's on channel 4, and I bet this is on channel 3. So it may not work. We'll try it. I'll let you know if we can, when we get to the 4-wheel steer part, if we can use the mixing on this, because these will bind. This will bind to this truck, and you can run it, but I just don't know if that mixing is going to work, especially if this is on channel 3, which it probably is. So I'm doubtful, but could have been cool. Either way, going to be cool with this. And then if you end up upgrading your transmitter and receiver later, going brushless, anything like that, doing a rear steer mixing or rear steer on a dial so that you have smooth left and right, fully proportional left and right versus a full lock and full lock. That could be pretty cool too. Either way, it's going to be awesome. I think it's really cool that they gave you a front axle on the rear that's just locked out. And then when you're ready to put a rear steer in there, you can, regardless of how you control that rear steer. The fact that that's there, so cool. So cool. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and compare this guy to some of the other monster trucks that are on the market and maybe even a couple crawlers, just so you have an idea, because I know a lot of you out there have a bunch of other crawlers, just so you can kind of see the difference. Looks like our wheelbase length is just slightly different here. Slightly different wheelbase, just a little. Looks like the Ascent is a little bit longer, which is interesting. So that's cool. Gives us some different link options. These are definitely more trailing arm monster truck style links, but you know, any links will work. It's the same mounting points, so that's cool as far as, you know, on the axles are concerned. Even looks like they're using similar mounting points here on the skid. Actually, yeah, they're using the higher link. So the skids have 2 points in them. You can see there's a hole there and a hole above it. Now, these are using the higher, whereas the Redcats, I believe, always are using the lower skid there. Oh, I changed them on this one to the higher skid on the back. So we had a little bit of kind of anti-squat sort of going on. So in the rear, lift that guy up. Either way, this guy has that same skid, so you have adjustable link mounts, which is pretty sweet. Man, I love this body. I'm loving the body. I like the carbon fiber. I like the Edelbrock logos. Looks good. All the sponsors, so sweet. So sweet, so sweet. Okay, let's compare to some more trucks. So the first guy I want to compare it to is the FMS Smasher. And these are very similar in size as far as just the body is concerned. The Smasher's a little bit longer. It's like a kind of a long bed, if you will. But, I mean, the wheelbase is almost spot on as far as that's concerned. You can see that rear axle lines right up, and then that front axle is very close. So, I would almost call this a 24 scale monster truck. Not so much 18. When it's, you know, almost smaller than this, and this guy is already kind of a smaller scale out of the 18th scales, it's definitely not a full-on 18th scale. Per what the industry standard is. This guy is the FCX 24, so they're calling it a 24 scale. This body is almost spot on to a 24 scale body, and so we're super close here. But, I mean, that doesn't change how awesome it is. Look at how big these tires are. These tires are massive compared to the Smasher's tires. They're about the same diameter, but they're like twice the width. Maybe not twice, but pretty dang close. They are huge, so that's cool. I love that there's going to be more monster truck tire options because we can buy these tires, throw them on this truck, whatever, mix and match them. We've also got this guy here, which is an SCX 24 based monster truck that I custom built, completely custom. It's running the Enjoras. It does have locked diffs though, so or flipped portals to drop us to the ground. We're actually running FCX axles on this, but it's an SCX platform truck. It's not done yet. I'm never going to get back to it, it seems, but we got to do the body. This is a 24 scale model body, and you can see how close it is to the Edelbrock truck here. Almost spot on. So definitely 24 scale, but it is using the Ascent 18 platform, so I understand why they called it 18th. But it is, yeah, fits right in with these guys, which is pretty sweet. Now, the elephant in the room is the Losi LMT. And that is an 18th scale LMT monster truck, and you can see this guy is large in comparison. Tires are huge. Now, you could probably take these tires and throw them on here. They're about the same width, funny enough. Almost exactly, just maybe a couple millimeters larger on the LMT. Diameter is very, very similar. Maybe, again, just a couple millimeters larger. But the body itself, this truck is much larger when it comes to the actual scale. Look at that. Just look at the window and the door. This guy looks huge in comparison. So they're calling this an 18 scale. If you're running monster truck classes, you could probably run this with this guy as far as size concerned, but I don't know. It's pretty far off. I would probably run just a smaller class. I'd run a 24 scale class where you're running these guys and the FMS trucks and then SCX based monster trucks. There's a couple people and chassis out there and stuff. I know a lot of people. They were kind of the first mini monster trucks on the market were the SCX 24 based ones. I know Mofo has a bunch of parts to build them off the SCX platform. But for an RTR, it's awesome to be able to get this kind of stuff like the Smasher in this. It's just too cool. And even this guy, right? But again, this guy's kind of in a different league. You can see just the axle is just huge in comparison. It's a huge truck. So just wanted to make sure you guys understood the size and what you're getting, but there's also a price difference here. This thing is like double. So that's just also something to keep in mind when you're comparing. Now, if we look at like an Evo Pro, here we go. This is an 18 scale Evo Pro. And that's much closer in scale as well, but crawler, not monster truck. And then we have the SCX24, AX24. So you can see that this guy's a little bit bigger than that. So it's maybe from a monster truck standpoint, it's a 24 scale, but when you compare it to the actual size of these, it's a larger platform in general. So yeah, 18 scale. Again, scale is hard when you start to use the same platforms for multiple trucks, right? This is, everything bolts over from one to another, and this is definitely closer to an 18 scale, and this is definitely closer to a 24 scale. There, if you really want to get technical, let's call this 1/19th, and we'll call this 1/23rd, 22nd, 1/22nd, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I just know a lot of people out there care about scale, so I just want to show you the size comparison there. And last, an SCX24 C10, since this is probably the most common of the crawlers. And you can see that they're not too far off there either. But again, an SCX24 is actually closer to a 22nd to 20th scale anyway. It's large for a 24 scale. A true 24 scale is a Kyosho 4x4. The Kyosho 4x4s are true 24 scales. So again, nobody's exact, so it doesn't really matter. As long as you understand the size you're getting, that's all that matters. All right, let's look at these tires one more time. Again, we got the Max Smasher tires. We got the Endura monster truck tires. And then we even have these guys. These are the OGRC monster truck tires. And they're almost the exact same dimensions as this guy. So these are going to be an awesome tire as well. If you're looking to change things around or get some different wheels, these will bolt right on. They're using that 7mm hex. So all your standard 24th, 18th scale wheels and tires should fit right on there. No problem. Okay. So pretty cool that we got all these monster truck options as far as tires are concerned now in the aftermarket. You're going to be able to pick these up from Redcat. So I definitely dig that. And they feel like they're going to have some good side bite. So you're going to have some good steering, good cornering, I think. We'll see. They're definitely the squarest of all the tires. The Enduras are probably next. The Enduras here, they're pretty square as well. I don't know, both these guys are. Definitely the Max Smashers are the most round and most narrow. I love that they're using the same kind of mounting concept. I bet you could take one of the Redcat Ascent bodies and throw the mounts from here because this is a little taller in the way it sits, but you could probably pull these mounts off, put them on here, swap the bodies, put this body on a crawler, whatever. Just take a little finagling to get it to work, but I'm sure you could do it because they're pretty much the same size. And as I said before, there's already aftermarket part support for these guys. So some of that stuff's going to swap over to here. Even stuff like the 3Flow9 makes an aluminum body mount part here. This little thing just for some bling if you want like a red one or a blue one to match your truck. Just a lot of really cool stuff that's already out there. Plus now if people start making parts for these, you'll have more stuff for this. So super cool. And like I said, even the open diffs, if you want to throw open diffs into your crawler, you could do that kind of stuff. So I'm so excited for that. We're going to go ahead and dive into this guy. I'm going to pull this open. We're going to check that diff. We're going to install that rear servo for some rear steer. Then we're going to go drive it. So first thing we're going to do is just pull our little faux servo mount in here out, and that'll help us get access to our rear diff as well. And then obviously we got to do that to put our new servo in. So that's a given. That guy just slides right out. And then we should be able to pull this screw here. pull this bottom one and lifts our servo mount tray up, and we should be able to just pop our diff cover off now. Here we go. Look at that. All right, I want to open this diff up actually. So I guess we're going to take apart more than we thought. We're going to go ahead and pull these axles off, the CVDs or CVAs, and the axles out. That way we can get this diff, because I want to look at this diff, and I'm sure you guys want to see it too. So let me get this apart, and yeah, we're going to check that out. I love working on these trucks. They're super easy to work on. Everything from a design standpoint, it just kind of makes sense. There's not like weird screws in weird places usually. So definitely nice to work on these guys. Yeah, it comes right apart, no problem. Our diff looks well greased here. Whoa. There's our little pinion in there. And yeah, our diff, our little diff. Is this thing serviceable? Trying to see if we can get to the screws here and open this up. I want to see if the spider gears are metal, or the planetary gears, however you want to look at it. Looks like we use a Phillips head here on these little guys. I mean, this thing is tiny, tiny little diff. Okay. Ooh, buddy. Well greased in there. I am digging it. Come here. Here we go. Little tiny metal planetary gears. And they feel smooth as butter when they're together. Obviously, right now they're not so smooth. But when they're together, man, they felt smooth. That's so awesome, guys. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love it. Open diffs on these little guys. Oh, buddy, we could probably use these open diffs in something else, like these axles and stuff. They could probably make some little mini bashers. That would be freaking cool. Oh, I bet it's coming, guys. I bet you it's coming, especially if you're going to do these diffs. Man. Oh, and this gear is actually separate. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, it's got to be because of the... Yeah. Ooh, buddy. This part of the diff, this gear. Freaking cool. Oh, I know I keep saying freaking cool, but I just love to see this stuff. This is so small. It's so small. All right. It's well greased. Do we need to add any more after messing with it? No, I think we're good. We're good. We'll grease up the outer part of the diff, but awesome, guys. All right. Got our diff all back together. Now we're putting our diff cover back on. Just remember the larger screw, the longer screw goes on top. Also, if you take your diff apart, don't over tighten those little Phillips heads. You probably strip them out if you try too hard. Also, if you over tighten it, even if you don't strip those little Phillips heads, if you over tighten it, it's going to have too much resistance in the diff. So just get them down snug, one turn. If your driver slips, you've gone plenty far. So don't over tighten at all. I mean, kind of don't want to over tighten anything on this stuff because you're going into plastic on most of it. So you don't have to worry about it backing out because you're going into plastic, unlike metal where you would want Loctite. All right, let's go ahead and, oh, you know what? Whoops. Our servo tray needs to be part of this diff cover screw. That's why the screw's longer. Jeez, Ken. All right, now we'll go ahead and put our servo in there, and then we'll get our axles and drag link screwed back in. Our knuckles, not our axles. Well, our axle shafts and our knuckles. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So here's the servo you're going to want to get. It's this part number right there. It's the HXM4K 4 kilogram cordless Metal Gear servo. They're only $15, and yeah, should be good. They use this on a lot of different vehicles. You can see they use it on their lowriders. Yep, all that stuff there. And it comes with a bunch of different mounts, so that's cool as well. Now the servo does come with some other servo horns as well, but these are not going to work for what we need it for. So we're going to put those guys back. We're going to keep this out. That's the servo screw and keep this white horn out. We're going to use that. So the white horn is a little long as well compared to your front servo. So we're going to trim it down and we're going to mount the drag link to the third hole from the top. So you've got 3 holes. It's going to be on that third hole. We're going to cut the mount so the bottom 2 holes are gone. And you can see there's an extra little bit extra meat there. So trimming the servo horn down won't be an issue. Just gives us extra clearance. And yeah, but we still got all that good meat in there for the screw. All right, we got our servo horn on there. It's basically a 2.5 millimeter screw, so we just drilled it out just under that. Make sure that we can thread in. Go ahead and put our servo in here. Should just drop into the tray, no problem. Get our screws in. Remember, we're going into plastic. Don't over tighten. Okay, then we're going to have to run our servo wire here underneath, or in between our chassis rails somehow. Where are we at? We're coming out over here. I almost wonder if we can just drop it down here underneath the battery tray. I'm just kind of pushing the servo plug between the battery tray here. You can see it coming up through. Some tweezers here. There we go. Just like that. Just like that. Try to untwist this guy. Nice. We should have plenty of clearance so we're not hitting on our drive shaft or anything in there. Seems good. And then we'll drop this guy through here. And plug it into our channel 3. Unplug this guy. Then that'll make it a lot easier to get it in there. There we go. Simple. Simple, simple. Easy peasy. All right. Let's go and plug it in. And turn it on. That way we can make sure it's centered. Slow start's so cool. Yeah, there we go. Left, right, and center. Okay, actually, we need to get our axles and knuckles put back on first. All right, we're nice and snugged up here, but also still nice and loose. Let's make sure we're centered. And then drop our horn on. Hoping we don't have to trim it too much here. We're a little off. Try to go 1 tooth over and see if that helps. Yeah, still a little off there. Did I not go over? Maybe I didn't go over. No, either way, you're a little off. So we'll just get it as straight as we can, and then I guess we got to figure out how to trim using this remote, the channel 3. Ooh, it's a lot of turning. It's a lot of turning. All right. Let's figure out how to trim this guy now. All right, now to be able to trim our other channels, we have to go into our trimming modes on the transmitter here, and that'll let us trim our channel 3 and channel 4. Now, mind you, we only have a channel 3 here. So we're going to go into our trim modes, and you should see some blinks. You basically double click the bind button, and you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 blinks. That means we're on basically trim and dual rate mode for channel 4. We don't want that. We want channel 3. Do it again. Now we're on channel 1. Now we're on channel 2. And now we're on channel 3. So now we should use our steering trim and steering dual rate here. That's the top and the bottommost to adjust our rear steer. Now when that clicks, when that beeps twice, that means you're at the center of that channel. So you'll see it blink. There we go. And it stopped. That means we're at the center of what the remote thinks it is. Now we do still need to keep going here. So we're going to keep trimming until we're just about right. That seems pretty straight to me. And we can even adjust our endpoints now so that we don't get so much steering. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it one way. We're going to reduce the end points because we don't want it to turn that much. That'll just cause us to roll over. Just a little bit of steering, just enough, because we still got most of our steering in the front. And because this is going full throw left, full throw right, you probably don't want it to max out. So that'll still get us a pretty nutso steering. You can go a little more, I think, actually, just a little bit. Yeah, like that. Pretty cool, guys. I love that they included the front axle on the rear for us because it just makes it so easy. You literally just buy a $15 servo and you're good to go. It also gets you in there working on the truck. For people that are newer, that are scared to do that kind of stuff, they don't know what to buy, this makes it super simple. Literally order your truck, order the servo for 15 bucks, and you're good. Just do it at the same time that you order the truck, and that's all you need. You don't need anything else special, and I showed you how to do everything here. So very simple setup and awesome, because every monster truck needs four-wheel steering, right? Come on now. Very cool. All right, well, that's it, I think. Oh, look. I think we're actually still a little off. Let's go ahead and trim it back. Click, click. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's a little better. That's more centered. Cool. Good times. All right, let's get the body back on there. I guess we go drive it now. I am stoked. Oof. So we found a servo horn in our bag of goodies here. So the rear does, in fact, have a servo horn that comes with the truck. Wait, which one's the rear? I can't even tell anymore. This is the rear. Yeah, because of our clip. Anyway, so yeah, we do have a black servo horn. Comes with in our bag of goodies, along with some O-rings and, like I said, body mounts and stuff like that. Goodies, goodies, goodies. All right. This guy can run 3S, so we're probably going to run 3S on here as well. It does say 2S, so do that at your own risk. But, you know, people have been running these Redcat ESCs with 3S for quite a while. I haven't heard of any issues, so we're going to run it. Trust it's going to work. And, yeah, we'll also do some speed tests. So let's get out there and let's go jump some ramps and do some speed tests. All right, here we go. 2S, stock battery, all stock except that rear servo, which is, I guess, still technically stock. Go ahead and start our run. Let's see what we get here real quick. I wouldn't expect anything too crazy, but because we're a little guy, still hurt. That's fun. Ooh, we can pop some wheelies, that's for sure. A little backwards motion though. Anyway, all right, let's get over here. What do we got? What do we got? Stop, read. 6 miles per hour. So again, nothing crazy, but on 2S. So let's go ahead and try 3S now. All right, we got this little 3S 300 milliamp. It's got the same plug on it. This is a Spectrum battery. We use this in our 8x8x8x8 SCX24 sometimes, and other stuff needs 3S like this. So we're strapping in there and let's go. It's getting dang chilly. Got the wind blowing. Can't really, some you can see some of it. Anyway, you can probably hear it, but it is getting cold out here in Colorado. All right, let's go ahead and go. Let's get her started. All right. Oh yeah, definitely faster. Whoa, we rolled. Let's go. Oh no. Can we get the flip? Let's get back over here. Let's go. Come on. Come on, monster truck. Let's go. Well, that's pretty quick. What do we get? Stop. Read. 9 miles an hour just by going 3S. Way more power. Much more exciting, I'm sure. Woo! Oh, yeah. 3S is the way. Oh, we got to get our ramps out here. All right, we got some serious terrain here. This is Crawler Trax' newest obstacle, the Vector XL. I'll put a link to this in the description. We're also going to have a full-blown review video on it, so that's cool. They also have this little prototype they sent us of a bus. It's like a monster truck bus to crush. You smash it up and bang it up and all kinds of cool stuff like that. And it breaks apart. It's supposed to break. They don't know if they're going to produce it yet, but we'll see. They said, here, have that when you send you this, and you can check it out. So that's what we're doing. Little monster truck action. Let's go.
Rumble in the ground beneath our feet. The Redcat and three boys that can't be me, flying high over the truck like a king. And it's pretty stylish, the type of this thing. Power surging, dance with the dirt. Adrenaline rushed, it's ready to turn. Gotta go, rip it, rip. Gotta go, flip. Bashing through the turns like the monastery. Redcat rolls, he living the dream. Flying with a fury, battle hearts ignite. Feel the power wind, Redcat's doing it right. The Autobot beast, that's a four-wheel van. With every round, we conquer the land. Slashing through barriers, pure domination. In this wild crowd, we find elevation. Hearts racing, we melody the sound. As the world shakes from the glory of now. Gotta go, rip it, rip. Gotta go, flip. Bashing through the turns at the monastery. Redcat rolls, he living the dream. Fighting with a fury, battle hearts ignite. Feel the power wind, like a silver cry.
The next day.
So I planned on getting more footage today, which is tomorrow from yesterday, and it snowed. It was that cold. So I'm gonna get back inside. We're gonna wrap this thing up. We'll do more on this thing because we got some servos coming and probably some shocks. We're gonna do some upgrades because, well, that's what we do is upgrades. So let's get back to the bench and wrap it up. All right, guys, this thing is just too cool, and the fact that we can run it on 3S again at your own risk, but it really spices it up. You know, 6 miles per hour for a little monster truck, it's not bad. Definitely better than some of the competition out there. I've seen some very slow monster trucks from some other companies, so I dig that this one has a little bit of speed. We didn't show that slow monster truck because we don't have one, but we showed the other ones. I think this is comparable to the other ones, other than the Losi Mini LMT, because it's just a beast in its own class. It's huge, it's much bigger, and again, totally different price point. But this guy, man. One of the things I really like about this is that it's Redcat adding more stuff to the market that allows us to customize existing platforms, right? Like the existing Ascent 18. The fact that we can take this and we could throw those straight axles on one of these guys if we wanted, versus having the portals, you know, the transmissions, all the stuff that is, you know, shocks and motors and all the things that we can put in this, we can also put into here. So you can go brushless. All that stuff already exists. There's already a market for it. So it's really awesome to see that. Like I mentioned earlier, there's some servos that are coming from Torque that are mountless. So you don't use the mount. There's no ears on them. They have extra clearance and they're super high torque, like really high torque. So we're going to probably throw those on here because they're, you know, they have them for these. So it's going to be the exact same mount straight onto this guy. Do front and rear, so that'll be cool. Again, Next Racing shocks that are already produced, any of the shocks that are produced for the Ascent 18, you can throw them on this guy. Just really cool to have more options and more aftermarket support. All the different wheels that are already out there, tires out there. I think J Concepts just released another monster truck tire or a new monster truck tire like yesterday or something. I don't know. We have to look that up. We'll have to see. But again, just more options, which is just awesome. That's one of the things I love about the hobby is mixing and matching things and support for platforms and taking a monster truck and having crawler parts able to work on it and crawlers making Ultra 4 trucks that are, you know, open diffs. Like that's freaking awesome. I can't believe they've got tiny little open diffs in there. So good. And I hope they do more with that. Like give us a Ultra 4 truck. That'd be awesome. Or some sort of mini basher, little 18th or 24 scale mini basher. Kind of like the, I have one way back up in the right there. You can kind of see the green or silver tires, wheels. That's FMS FMT. So a little basher thing, and you know, open diffs would be amazing. These little tiny open diffs would be so good in something like that. Anyway, I love the livery. I love the Edelbrock. The blue one's awesome as well. We had to go with the red though, and I love the extra little scale details. Just fun. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. If you've got any questions or any upgrades specifically you want to see, or any other stuff you want to see Redcat make along this line using the same kind of swappable parts, put that down in the comments below. Why don't you put down in there also, if you watched the whole video, rip, flip from our song. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all the watching, appreciate all the channel subscribers, and a huge shout out to all of our channel members. That's them over there. They get to see these videos before anybody else without ads. And then huge shout out to all the subscribers, thank you for subscribing. I know you want to see new content, so that's why you subscribe. So we're going to get you more new content. And then any of the viewers, if you guys are just viewers, totally appreciate your viewership, but you should subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button down there, notification bell somewhere around here. Like, subscribe, share, notification, all those things help support the channel. And then you know when new stuff is posted. All right, guys, get out there and build something awesome. Build a new car, build a course, build a community, smash it, crash it, and bash it, but don't break the expensive parts. See you next time. Peace.
Rip it, rip